everyone, it's Maxine here from Northumberland Zoo. Hope that you're all well and you're staying dry. I've been waiting patiently to get outside and do a little bit of filming, but we've just had so much rain. As you can see, for those of you who normally visit, this is not normal. This is quite a lot of water. It's the most that we've had in a few years at least. But we have had it higher. So, you know, this water in the past has been up and over this path. And hence why the lemur house was actually built on stilts, so that, you know, it wouldn't flood if the water's got this much. So yeah, it's pretty high up. Anyways, hope you're staying dry. In this week's Zoo News update, we're going to be having a little look at the progress of the crayfish setup. Obviously, with the weather being so unfavourable, we haven't really been able to crack on with outdoor projects like the aviaries, which has kind of set back a few other projects, which is annoying. But that does mean that we've been able to crack on with indoor projects. So the crayfish setup is pretty much there, so it won't be long before we start putting all the tanks and stuff together, so I'll show you that. Then we've got something a little bit more cute. Our little baby armadillos that we had born in November last year, it was time for their routine health check and their microchipped, so we'll be joining our vet Sam, who's going to be doing that for us. So it was quite a nice thing to do. It's one of the cushy parts of the job, you know. It's not very often that you get to kind of get hands-on with the animals, because we just leave them to it. So it's always a nice day when the keepers get to get involved and the vet gets to come down and do something different. So yeah, we'll get to see our little baby armadillos up close. It's such a shame that no one's been able to see the baby armadillos because of lockdown. Obviously they're located in the indoor bit just as you come into the zoo, and all indoor areas have been closed. So yeah, no one's actually seen our baby armadillos, and it's probably likely that no one will ever see them because they've already got another collection, another zoo that they're moving to. So yeah. But we'll be putting Lucas, the male, back in with Rosie and hope for more babies. So maybe later on in the year we might have another lot of babies. So yeah, it's just a shame no one's got to see these two, which is why I wanted to feature them in today's episode. So anyways, what we'll do first is we'll head up and we'll have a look at the crayfish project. So here we are in our new crayfish room. So this is going to be on show to the public, so the public won't be allowed in here, but they'll be able to see it through those viewing windows there. So this is actually the old barn, if you remember where the goats and the donkeys and things used to live. This is where they used to live, so we've repurposed it quite well. We've got some nice roof lights in to let natural light in. So all of our tanks and things are all stacked up here, and they're going to be all going along this wall here. And that's going to make what's called the hatchery. So in the future, once we've got the project up and running and we've got successfully breeding crayfish, then all the youngsters will be kept in these broods, so that they can be growing on. Yeah, it's exciting. It'll be the second captive white-clawed crayfish breeding program in the UK. The other one at the moment is down at Bristol Zoo, which is moving to the Wild Place project. So it's pretty cool to be able to have this, and obviously the idea being that if there was ever a plague that kind of happened in a wild population around here, because white-clawed crayfish aren't naturally found around here, if there was a bout of plague from the signal crayfish, which is an introduced American species, we could potentially restock those waterways with our captive stock that we've bred. So there is an ultimate goal at the end of it for release. So it's really cool for us to have been accepted to do this. Yeah, there's just a lot of sorting out to do yet. I wanted to bring you guys into the office to show you the actual design plans of the new native species wildlife house. I've drawn them up on just Google SketchUp, nothing posh. So yeah, I'll show you now. Here we go. So this is the front of the house, which is opposite the meerkats. We're going to put some fancy fascia on it just so that it highlights that it's native species and there's really cool animals in there. So when you go in through the door, obviously where we were before, I was showing you that L-shaped room. That's it there on your right hand side as you go in. So there's viewing windows here. This is your on-show viewing tank, which is where we're going to have a couple of crayfish in there so you can see them up close. But the rest of the breeding stock is going to be kind of set back a bit. So down here on the left hand side. Eventually we'll have these breeding vats, hopefully by the end of the year. Each one of these breeding vats can hold one male and 2 females. So as you can see, there's like at least 7 sets there. And then these tanks along the back wall here, which are the tanks that we could see kind of lying all over the floor, this is the hatchery. So this is when you put the different stages of crayfish broods in for them to develop and to grow on. So you could have them in different age ranges as they're growing on. And then obviously the next stage, which we haven't done yet because it takes quite some time to get there, is kind of like the halfway house soft release pens, which is basically like a large tank where you would put the crayfish into, where they would learn how to be wild crayfish and hunt for food and do stuff like that, so that we know that they'll survive when they go back in the wild. So they would go into the soft release tanks, and they would obviously get tested and vet checked and everything like that to make sure that they were ready to go into the wild. So it's going to be a pretty cool setup. Then on the other side of the building, on the left as you come in, this is going to be the new harvest mouse enclosure, which will probably hold at least 100 individuals. So we'll let them just run wild in there, and we'll probably catch them up once a year and do a census. And we've likely got a release site for them not too far away from here, so if we get any surplus we can either send them to other zoos or potentially release them. And then at the back of the building we have got what's going to be an on-show hive. So again, another native species, endangered, the honeybees. So through here you'll have a pane of glass where you'll be able to see the hive and see all the bees working. Obviously the bees will have access to the outside of the building where they'll fly out, go and collect the pollen and whatnot, and then come back. So the local beekeeping association based in Alnwick is the ones who's going to be servicing that. So, and they're talking about doing live talks here at the zoo as well. So they'll do little demonstrations for the public as well. So really cool, nice trio of a species to go in this building. So if you've got any questions or anything like that, just comment below, and I'll answer them as best I can. So we're in our nocturnal bit here at Northumberland Zoo, and today is the day that we're going to be health checking and microchipping our 2 young armadillo babies. They were born in November of last year, so that puts them at about, what, 3.5 months old. So we've got Sam, the vet here, who's going to be giving them their health check. So yeah, let's have a little look. What we're going to do first, just tell us like the role of play.
So we're going to head round. I think the babies are still in the box, so we're going to bring them out, thoroughly health check them, we're going to weigh them, microchip them so that we can actually officially identify who is who, and then check everything's all right in that way, and then give them the tea as well.
What are we doing, babies?
Is this worth keeping her out the way and letting them just hide the food down there?
Yeah.
They can join her once they're thinking, it won't take that long. Rosie, go down there, darling.
Would you want these then?
We'll pop them on here as I get them out there. Actually, can I give you him and I'll hold the other one? No, you haven't got gloves on, I can't do that. Hold on, oh God. Here, little dude.
He's super cute.
Cool. The eyes are just far too. Give you him and I'll get the other one out, just so that one's. This is on. So, go on.
They're very cute.
Thank you.
So, do you know which one is Julio and which one is Miguel? Not yet.
No,
no,
not
you
yet.
just have 2 names.
Yeah, we just have 2 names, but aren't entirely sure who's who.
You haven't assigned them yet.
There's one confident one.
Yeah, we know which one's the confident one, and we
Yeah.
want that one. That one's going to be Julio, but
you don't know which one
know
that is
which one
today.
that
don't know
Yeah.
exactly right this
Yeah,
second.
but it doesn't matter. We'll figure it
Isn't
out.
it? Right.
Once, yeah, we'll figure it out once they've been scanned. We'll just assign the number.
They're not saying if we get the names wrong.
Sam, is this your first time microchipping an armadillo?
I don't think it is.
No?
I don't think it is. I think I've microchipped 2 armadillos before.
Oh, okay.
Um,
Oh, so it's not special then.
it's very special. These are undoubtedly the cutest armadillos I've ever had forced to microchip. It is a daily occurrence, I can hear that.
Okay, so we'll pop little man on first. He's got 2 2.18. No, sit back here. Yeah, 2.18 kilos.
Okie doke.
Brilliant.
Could you just explain what you're looking for?
Yeah, well, the first thing with any health check is you just want to check their general demeanour, how perky they are, how alert they are, and how aware of their general surroundings. And these guys are absolutely fantastic in that regard. You want to watch them move, walk about, what their locomotion's like, and again, that's absolutely fantastic. Beyond that, you want to carry out a clinical exam without causing them undue stress. So if you had reason to start examining the back of the mouth or anything like that, you'd need to sedate them. You're going to stress them to do it. There's no indication of having problems. So we want to do this in a fairly uninvasive manner. Make sure there are no undue swellings, lumps, bumps. There's no discharges from eyes, ears, nose or mouth. That there's no accumulation of anything unpleasant around the back end. That nail structure's good. Conformation's reasonable. And we've got all of that. They look absolutely fantastic. There's a little bit of a limit to some of the things that you might do in another species. For instance, having a listen. Really, you're going to struggle to hear over an awful lot of the lung field with a stethoscope.
Good lad.
But just listening down there, pick up a nice, regular, strong heartbeat. You can hear that the ventral lung fields are nice and clear, which is a great start. So really, we can be confident that this is a healthy little armadillo and go ahead with microchip.
Awesome.
That presents us with a bit of a challenge in that, unlike your cat or a dog where you're going to be sticking it somewhere into the scruff of the neck, that's obviously a no-go because these guys are beautifully armour plated, so we have to go for somewhere slightly softer and squidgier.
So where's the soft squidgy bit?
Universally, you go in front of the left back leg so that any subsequent collection they know where to scan and find it. Okay.
How's the best way for me to do this?
We can just bring that. Can you hold that leg down for me, Dan? Right. And if I'm not too accurate and I get Dan, at least you'll be able to trace him if you get any wayward zookeepers.
Oh, you're all right, mate.
Good lad.
I know, my little one. There we go.
So that was a cracking health inspection of the two young armadillos who are going to be moving out of our collection in early July. They're going to a zoo down south. Sadly, no one's been able to see them yet with lockdown, simply because all of our indoor houses have been closed. And obviously we're closed now. So hopefully when we reopen in late February or early March, you'll be able to have a little sneak peek of them before they get too big. But already they're looking a little bit too big. I hope you enjoyed that.